All right, what's good? What's good? Y'all let me know how my audio is because my mic a little far away, but hey, it should be cool. Yep, yep, yep. We got some stuff to cover. All right, cool, cool. So we good. Make sure y'all hitting the like on your way in. We about to get started. We're gonna get about give it 2, 3 more minutes. Give folks more time to come in. We're gonna go ahead and get it started. All right, shoot. I just noticed that ain't my mic. Hold on. How is it now? One more time, because it was that was my it was actually. All right, my bad, my bad. Um, but yeah, so my audio's good. Mike, I'm about to put your glass right on out. If you start that shit, I'm telling you right now. You about I ain't got time for your glass today. What's up, Demarcus? All right, cool. So we good on audio. Give it one more minute. One more minute. We're gonna dive right on in. But we can go ahead and talk about what we're gonna discuss today. Poma, what's up? You probably ain't gonna like this topic, but hey, what we talking about because this is a TV show. Poma, I keep telling you, you should subscribe to Black Chat Chronicles because that's the one that you asked to speak on. This there, you ain't gonna. This is gonna be stuff that you're not gonna be too. You're not gonna really want to hear anyway. But yeah, the Knicks up 2-0. Not surprising. Jeremiah was good. All right, so yeah, we're gonna cover for today. We're gonna cover now that we got a trailer, which gave us a little bit more, intel on things to come. And we made a lot of predictions and stuff. Still got a bunch of more to put out. Like tomorrow, I probably gonna put out at least 3 to 4 more videos tomorrow. And of course, we got the synopsis, the titles and synopsis for the first 3 episodes. So we're gonna cover those, break them down, and discuss what may be potentially happening throughout these episodes. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to start. So first up, we got these Dell predictions. Now we know already who's the highest on our list right now. I think it's safe to say probably on everybody's list at this point that you know Lou is the highest on the Dell prediction list, right? So outside of Lou, who else is very high? Now, you know what? I'm gonna say this too. So SG, I remember last live you mentioned this, and then you kind of possibly maybe pivot a little bit, but I think you may have been on to something possibly. Because I was looking at it, and then a couple of other folks talked about it. They were saying, because remember we were discussing whether or not that was the part of the trailer where it was two people shooting. I was thinking it may have been Marvin and Jukebox, but it looked like it could turn out to have been Pop. And not sure who the other guy is. Might be a random, maybe a bodyguard of theirs or something. But remember, he said the big body that's on the ground, it could turn out to be Snaps, and it would make sense, of why Pop would be shooting at Kanan because maybe Kanan is the one who took out Snap. And if Kanan has took out Snaps, then that means he must have figured out by then that they were responsible for the death of, Crystal and Famous. Do death predictions count specifically only for the main characters, or we putting side characters? We can do side characters as well. Could be, I think Akbar is bigger than the body that was there, though, Rado. Like, the body was big, but like Akbar is a huge body. Like, I think it would be bigger than that. Something I didn't notice either in the trailer is that Breeze is in the sea as that you meant the seat as Kanan is driving and smiling. Oh shoot, I didn't notice it either. I guess I gotta go back and look at that. So Ty Shepard says unique snaps, unique snaps and pop, and maybe Uncle Marvin, Akbar, Phil Russo. So I think Phil Russo for sure is definitely very high on the list because Phil, I believe he's actually going to be out episode one too because I don't see a reason for them to waste any time on keeping his character around because he really doesn't, outside of possibly being, the connect for Unique. Um, I don't really see any use for his character. So I think it's best to just knock him out pretty quickly. And then we're gonna when we get deeper, when we get to the episode synopsis that we have here, once we read them, you can kind of see that it seems like Stefano has been, been the way he's moving. It seems as if his little tensions that he had with Russo is over already. Because I'm pretty sure if a dude stabbed me like that, he would have been first on my list to make sure I take him out. So more than likely he's out in episode one. Well, yeah, it looked like a trash bag at first. Then when I kept looking, I said, "Hold on, that dude kind of looked like a body." It shit did like a goddamn trash bag. Yeah. When Dale Pierce is in James Ryan series too. Not sure who Ryan James. I mean James Ryan is, but that's what's up. Shell said she said it was a trash bag. Hey, it's crazy that this is up for a debate right now because it looks like both of them. I can look at it, and see that it sort of look like a person, and then you can also look at it and be like, nah, that's a damn trash bag. But yeah, absolutely. So who else are we forgetting? Because Snaps and Pop definitely them damn cops. Them damn cops got to get it too. Let's see anybody else. Yeah, the big as far as the bigger ones, I can't see Marvin making it out, but Marvin would be who I would want to make it out the most of everyone on the show. But I just, looking at it, I just can't see it. Now, who would take out Marvin? I'm still kind of debating on it because I know Demarcus, you've been saying Breeze, which it could turn out to be. Because I got like I said, I got a theory on who I think how he could end up getting up out of here. I don't like
Let's hear it.
who Marvin.
Yeah, what's your theory? I quit looking at all these shows and these theories and stuff. I just it was too
I
much.
mean, I'll go ahead. I guess I'll go ahead.
Y'all all over the place.
Well, so I, these, how these parallels work. I think Raising Kanan has kind of did a good job of throwing curveballs, more than the others. But still, one thing that I do pay attention to is that Courtney Kemp said that to the reason one of the reasons why Kanan took a liking to Tariq so much is because he reminded him of his younger self. So, with that being said, I would like to think that a lot of the things that took place with Tariq probably took place in Kanan's life too. Like we can actually kind of go through some of them now. They both took a shot at their parents, which is another. I'm just letting y'all know right now. There is a ghost alive. It's still alive video coming because this rock being alive further solidifies what I was that is a great chance that he is because like I just said, she said Tariq reminds him of his younger self. So he took a shot at his parent off of something that he thought, and Tariq did the same. We now know that Rock survived, and I'm telling you, motherfuckers, that Ghost did too. So, but
why
back
you
to what were you gonna say?
why you think they did this trailer like this? It seemed like I don't know. I don't trust power writers anyway. And these trailers I really don't. It's okay, you give us this cliffhanger, a true cliffhanger, right? Gunshot, fade to black. We spent all these months speculating what is Rock? Is she dead? Is she alive? Is she in a coma? You know what? Just to reveal it in a trailer. Even though I think, most of us thought she was alive, but still, I would have rather seen it in the episode. Kind of like with it was a lot of speculation about Unique because we never saw the body or saw him dead. But when it was revealed, that wasn't really a cliffhanger because we saw him. And then we just had to find out what the story was, what happened to him.
Well,
But I don't know why reveal it in a trailer. And then they giving us a lot. They practically telegraph and lose death.
I mean, they could be doing all of this, just to throw a major curveball on us. Who knows?
That's what
Lou
I'm
Lou
suspecting.
could survive this thing. Cause let's think about this. Although if I had to go to Vegas, I would bet that he's dead. However, Lou could survive this thing because we got to think about this stuff. They made us think a couple of characters has died based off the trailer, and it turned out to not be true. Like the biggest one, I got to give them, I got to give them a round of applause for what Power Book Two Ghost finale writers did. Even though they did mess up a lot of things, one thing that they did catch us hard with was they definitely made us think Diana was dead. And they was very strategic of how they did it with the trailer, how it was made, and then of course they purposely gave us the synopsis early. Like we had episodes 1 through 9 for book two Ghosts at the very beginning. And since we everybody was reading the description of episode 6, it was like, oh, this means Diana's dead. And the way they did it, it made it look like it was. So all I'm saying is they could be doing the exact same thing when it comes to Lou. Because everything is looking like it's pointing towards he's dead, right?
Yeah, and that does raise the question of the funeral
Right. We
and
got the funeral,
the graveyard.
the graveyard. We got Rock, Lou, and Jukebox crying. And we're about to get into the synopsis. I don't want to put it up just yet, but once we pull up the synopsis, you're gonna see that, which is gonna also lean towards it looks like Lou's dead. Like it almost to the point that they're trying a little too hard to make us believe Lou is dead, right?
Okay, so why reveal Rock is alive in the trailer?
Um, that's a good question. To be honest with you, I'm kind of stuck on why they decided to do that. Maybe once it gets started, we'll get the answer. But yeah, but I think she's gonna be taking right now. They're using that to take some attention off something else that's big, that's hidden. Because I think some really big reveals is gonna happen in this that we're gonna be shocked with. Can't haven't quite identified as of yet exactly what it's gonna be, but yeah, they're gonna show us something big. I believe that gonna catch us by surprise, and it's not gonna just be related to a death. It could be something revealed such as a family member, somebody being because you remember Jukebox talked about family secrets in season 1, and they never quite identified what those family secrets were. And also another one that I remember in season 2, when Kanan, episode 1, briefly when he was staying with what was it, his auntie, cousin, or whoever she was up in Virginia. She was getting ready to say something about E Train, but when Kanan walked in, she hurried up and stopped talking. So perhaps whatever it is she was getting ready to mention will be revealed as well.
That's why I was hoping Rock would have some deathbed secrets to reveal. Now, you don't like my theory of a family secret,
That's not happening. I can guarantee you that. That's not happening. But
but there could be some real life stuff, that kind of stuff, though.
yeah, stuff like that happens,
You
but
practically had it on book 2 on Ghost.
huh?
You had the similar situation on Ghost with Monet and Zeke.
Nah, it's nowhere near the same because, like I said, her line about somebody being a son is very possible because that's just something someone didn't know and it turned out to be her son. You're talking about somebody that's thinking they siblings and turned out that's instead of being his sister, that's his mom. That no, that's way too.
That kind of stuff has happened, Jay. That's not far fetched at all. That kind of stuff has happened.
I'm not saying that nothing like that has ever happened. I just don't think it's happening here because of the age, the way the ages are set up. No. What's up, time? Anyways, let's read this. He said Lulu could accidentally get shot and go into hiding for the death of Kenyatta and Julius and Chantel's scrapping mother.
Remind me, who is Kenyatta?
Kenyatta is the guy that was with B Rilla that was trying to get
Oh,
B
okay,
Rilla to
okay.
rob the people.
No, that was a good death prediction. Be Rilla, he wasn't in the trailer.
His ass dead episode 1.
Aisha wasn't in the trailer
They had a behind the scenes photo of B Rilla though.
with the boy playing Jerome.
Yes. So, but yeah, back to the thing I was thinking about with Marvin. So with Marvin, remember I was talking about the parallels once Tariq hated once Tariq hated his dad, he was trying to get Tommy, his uncle, right, to help him take him down. And initially Tommy was down with it. But then later once Tommy discovered the truth, he wanted to save Ghost and he was trying to get Tariq to help him do it. But Tariq was still too far gone. He was like, nah, that nigga need to go, right? So perhaps the same scenario could happen with um Kanan. Like that could turn out to be what ends up happening with Lou, or it could happen with Kanan. I even consider that it could happen with Unique. So keep in mind, all of them are in the dark with a lot of stuff that's going on. So with Lou, remember in the finale of last season, he talked to Kanan and was telling him that how real Rock was and what she's been through, how she keeps taking everything on and all of that. And then Kanan goes and do what he did. And of course, Kanan did it because he's been manipulated. So the same thing could be going on where, I can see a situation where Unique, Marvin, or or Lou could be doing something to try to save Rock. And Kanan backstabs them and sets them up to get killed. I could see something like that more, but I'm gonna lean more towards Marvin. This could happen to. Like Marvin could be going to, to do something. He tells Kanan about the plan or whatever. And instead of Kanan, riding with his family, he still butthurt and do some dirty shit and gets Marvin set up to get killed. And later on he finds out that Rock had nothing to do with none of this stuff and he was wrong about everything. But it's too late. And that could be the reason Jukebox viciously attacks him and give him that scar. And I think it was it Demarcus? Demarcus, let me know if this was your theory because I'm also gonna make a video on this as well, independent individual one. But somebody gave me a good theory about this. Once Jukebox gives him that scar, remember I was talking about last I think it was last live where we seen this the situation in the trailer where Breeze was in the hospital with his number two, right? And he said that Breeze could be in the hospital to check on Kanan because Jukebox sliced him up. And that could be it. It makes enough sense to me because I was like, why the hell would Breeze be at the hospital? Also, did anybody else see that little? Because I was watching. Hold on, I actually screenshot it, screen recorded it at least. Let me see. Let me try to pull it up. When I was looking at, because I was doing when I was making a video, I stumbled across a little small teaser that they had. Maybe some of y'all have already have seen this. But here's a video of it's a mixture of different shows, but it got parts of Raising Kanan here. Okay, so it was you, Demarcus. I thought it was. All right, so here it is.
Me. You ain't scared of nobody. Scared of me. Respect. Business. Money. Money.
I'm gonna pause it because I don't know. They might try to hit me with their copyright. Hold up. This is the fair use. Fair use, YouTube. Leave me alone. Ugly ass niggas.
Business. Revenge. Are you ready for this? There ain't no turning back. It's all good. I got you. I want to get everyone in town. Ghost, Kanan, Tariq, everyone. Nobody's untouchable.
So the part that really what I was talking about was this little very brief conversation between, um, Kanan and Breeze here, and Breeze is talking about you ain't scared of nobody, and it looks like here he's freshly from the ass whooping that Marvin just gave him, right? Because you can see his face looks bloody and the eye looks really swollen, like it just happened. This is actually the first I've seen this clip. I don't know how the hell I missed it, but it's the first I saw it. But I think here Kanan could be looking to set up Marvin, right? Because Kanan don't want his get back.
We're gonna have to see what the conversation that Kanan and Stefano is having. Stefano makes reference to Rock,
Uh huh.
but that could be. But see, Stefano, the Italians got Marvin's number anyway because of Marco. What's his name? Marco and Baselli, and even the guy that Early Tyler killed. But then you wonder why would Stefano need Kanan's permission to go after
Well,
Marvin?
I can give you the answer to that. The answer to it is in the episode 2 synopsis. What I believe it is that because it tells you in the episode 2 synopsis that Stefano is going to go into business with Kanan, Breeze, and Snaps and Pop. Now, obviously, Stefano is probably going to look at Kanan as just a kid. He's not concerned about him. He doesn't matter. And he probably will look at Breeze the same. But he doesn't want to cross Snaps and Pop. So, with that being said, Snaps and Pop probably told him, "Hey, Kanan is our business partner, so you you need to keep him in good faith and make sure you don't do anything to cross him." So with that being said, him knowing that he wants to go after his mother, he's running it by him to make sure he's okay with that. But yeah, anybody in here thinks Rock isn't gonna make it? Because I've already been on record. I think Rock's surviving, and I'm gonna stick with it so far.
Where you get those synopses from?
Shit. No label to label put them out, and Demarcus sent the ones that I ended up taking to my DM. So shout out to Demarcus for sending me those. But yeah, we got they 1 through 3 has been released so far. Can also include Tony Teresi and Sammy will eliminate Marvin because of Kanan. I mean, I don't think that's too far fetched. It'd be a good way to introduce the characters. Tremont will eliminate Rock because she can't see what's in here. Because she okay stole his plug. It's I forgot however you say this fool name from Tremont. Kane has been manipulated by Snatch about for the point of how to cause within his Rock going to jail. Yeah, I can. So Jeremiah, I think I can relate to that more. Like I just don't think Rock to die. But let's just go with let's say she do, even though in my opinion she's not. If Rock was to die, um, I can't see her going out no other way except going down for somebody she loves. I don't think it's just gonna be somebody just randomly, catch up to her and catch her slipping. Might need to put my head. God, oh shit. But anyways, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get started on this episode one synopsis. So yeah, let's put it up like this. So here is our episode one synopsis, where the title of it is "By Blood," and it says Kanan makes a move that changes the Thomas family forever. Unique tries to regain a foothold in Queens as Breeze's new drug enterprise takes shape. So, like I said in my individual breakdown of this synopsis, I found the title of this episode to be interesting, by blood. And in my opinion, I think with that title, what it's saying by blood, I mean, yeah, it could you be leaning more towards that it's saying, somebody else that your own blood took you out, or it could be interpreted in the ways that like somebody saying, but this is more of a younger generation slang, not a 90s slang of getting it in blood. At least I think. I don't think they were using that in the 90s. I don't know. But anyways, though, with it saying Kanan makes a move that changes the Thomas family forever. What is the move that Kanan could be doing that changed the Thomas family forever? And that's another indication that if Lou ain't dead, it's another major thing that they're doing, trying their hardest to make you believe that he is.
I don't think Kanan is gonna kill any of the Thomases, but he's gonna set them up.
Well, I don't believe that he's gonna directly just point a gun and shoot him, but I do think there's a there's a possibility that it was an accident. Because
Yeah.
look at because MovieBot said the same thing that I said when I was looking at one of his videos. He noticed the same thing I did. If you pay attention to one of the images they gave, but I don't think this was in the trailer. I think it was just more so an exclusive photo, and I can't. So right now, I don't really know where it's at. But there's going to be an image where, well, no, it is in the trailer. It's in the trailer, I believe. Why the heck I don't see it right now? It's crazy, but definitely in the trailer where
To
he's
your
gonna.
to your by blood question, that's about family. Just like you can be related by marriage, or you're actually related by blood. I don't think there's no great meaning to that. It's something about family.
Damn, I don't know why I can't
I
find this.
mean, you can kill family members, and there's words for that, like matricide, patricide, um, fratricide. That's killing a brother. A child infanticide. You have those different kinds of murder of blood relatives.
Yeah. So
So they're gonna be brought down by, well, it's saying he came to make some move that changes the Thomas family forever. So that
damn, I
this is
gotta
they
pull
this is
up.
their downfall season anyway. They're
Yeah,
gonna
it
be
is.
they're
I
gonna be
gotta pull
brought
up the
down by their
trailer
own
again
blood.
and find the part exactly I'm talking about.
Do you hear what I'm saying?
I heard you. Here we go. So let me show this real fast. So right here, this image of Kanan, he looks like obviously he's still wearing the same clothing he wore when he was in the Rock's house, and and was had the gun on him. He's looking down at somebody here. Look at that. You know this nigga short as fuck. His eyes is not looking up. It's nobody on the show that's short enough for him to be looking down there. So clearly somebody's on the ground. So we know Rock didn't die because they showed us in the trailer, right? So we also seen an image of Lou in that house. We know for sure Lou's gonna be inside of Rock's house, wearing the same attire that he had on when we last saw him. Only difference is he had an escort leather jacket on. But for the most part, like I said, same attire. We also see Lou up in there, look like he's struggling with somebody, wrestling with somebody inside of there. And now we got Kanan looking down like he's shot, looking on the ground at somebody. So I think when they say here, the move that changed the Thomas family forever is the move was him trying to, make a move on Rock, but accidentally kills Luke. Yeah, that's what I think, Demarcus. He's surprised he shot Luke. I hope Kanan didn't shoot Lou in the head. Remember that Howard said that Kanan can't shoot. So we also could go with um, what if this is the case? I gotta throw another one, Hail Mary out there to see could this potentially land. But what if Kanan did accidentally shoot him, but he's not dead? They rushed him to the hospital, and the funeral scene that we saw turns out to be someone else, or let's say the funeral scene turns out to be a dream or a hallucination or something like that. And then comes to find out Lou's just in the hospital. I mean, I would say um, the family would still be pretty sad. The fact that Lou's in the hospital, and let's just say he's in critical condition and they don't know whether or not he's going to make it or not. But the likelihood is that more than likely he's up out of here. I'm just trying to, put something out there to give my boy Lou some hope.
I'm still I'm gonna wait on a major plot twist.
So this next part, it says Unique tries to regain a foothold in Queens as Breeze's new drug enterprise takes shape. So, like I said in the individual breakdown video, we know that I believe Unique is losing all of his power due to Phil Russo dying. Because keep in mind, he was relying on Phil. That was his plug. With him being gone, that takes away his product and him also not having the Jersey, the Jersey crew that he had with him as well. Because they don't have a reason to be sticking by him if Phil was gone. I mean, you could say that if Neek is still able to pay them well, maybe they'll stick around. But the likelihood of it, I would say, they probably wouldn't stick by him no more either, right? So that makes him lose a lot of power. And then also, we probably have to consider that since he doesn't have his Italian plug anymore, because keep in mind when they were introducing Breeze to us, Snaps and Pop were saying they're keeping Unique around because of the Italian plug. But without that, they don't have any use for him. And we've seen an image of what looks like it could be some tensions between, Unique and Breeze already. And just judging by their characters, Breeze don't look like he fuck around. So, he could get Unique up. Because keep in mind, Unique is very limited on this trailer. We haven't seen much of him. And when we did see him, he's only had two outfits. He got the one that he got on now that we see right here on the screen. And I think he may have had a different outfit when he was hugging Jerome. Let me check that really fast.
The Jerome scene got to be. It's got to be early.
I believe it's episode 1. Yep. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, I believe this is freshly after he may have got him back, got Jerome back from Lou or B Rilla or whoever. Shout out to Lamar. He said Lulu could fake his death, and this is where Kanan learned it from. Nah, Kanan learned that shit from Unique. He ain't learned that shit from no damn Lou. Lou ain't faking no death. I wonder if we see E-Town this season. So that's someone also that I'm very much interested in seeing myself. They it can be very brief, but I would love to see him just to give a little something slight about his character. Him and Defcon.
Now, Etone, refresh my memory. Who was that?
E-Tone is Roxanne dad.
Oh, his name was E Train.
Yeah, E-Train, right. But that's who I'm guessing he meant.
How would we see him in a flashback?
Yeah, I would suppose. No, no, no. You know what? No, E-Tone. I'm tripping. E-Tone is what's that dude name? The football player's character, right? No, I'm tripping. I'm tripping. Yeah, yeah, that's him. Yeah, he's E-Town. Yeah, the
He
football
had
player,
he had
Lamar
like
Jackson.
he had like one scene or something.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson. Yeah, I believe that's his character. I doubt he comes back. I'm tripping. I was thinking he was saying E Train. I meant E Train. That's who I would be interested in saying. But nah, E Town.
I would like to know what was the deal with Joyce and Raquel, why they were so had so much animosity toward each other, or what did Rock blame her for? See, that's the kind of family secret didn't come out. The only thing we know is that um,
Well, I feel
Rock
like they
was such
kind of
Rock was
did give
such
us that.
huh?
I feel like they kind of did give us that because, like, you know, Rock was mad at her for the most part because I mean my mind a little foggy because it's been a little minute since I seen the last season, but it was something in the lines of after they dad died, she kind of just fell apart, and
Who
she
fell apart?
basically Joyce did, and Joyce basically was explaining that everybody had their own version of how they seen the things, but they never looked at how Steph was for her, how she was struggling with the three kids and something else she said. Like I said, it's kind of foggy in my memory right now. But I do remember her saying, let Marvin tell it. He took care of everybody, and let Rock tell it. She did something else. But like I said, I would have to go back and look at it. But in my opinion, I think they did kind of give that to us. It just was like really brief.
They all took aspects of it. Marvin is a fighter. Lou took on the music piece, and he was also a bootlegger. And Rock rose to the top of the drug game, but she was his favorite. That's the only thing we know about her relationship with her dad is that she was the favorite.
Yeah, yeah, they didn't give us that
The
much of
mama
that.
could have been jealous of that.
Mm. Rockets at Howard.
And Lou apparently didn't really have either parent. That's why Rock raised him.
That's interesting what Demarcus is saying right now. I seriously doubt that's what this is, but that is interesting. He said that Rock is at Howard's gravesite and regretting that she eliminated him in front of Kanan. I would say the likelihood of that is super slim. The grave site that she's at is between two people, in my opinion, and that's Lou or Joyce.
Joyce's headstone was a bevel.
Yeah, but that didn't really show the headstone that Rock was looking at.
True. I don't think. Let me see. He's saying you think Joyce knew that Howard took Rock's innocence. I don't
Who said that?
support. He didn't. She wasn't innocent. She probably had already had that first abortion.
Yeah, more than likely. Because who else she had it with? Because I'm pretty sure Howard would have known if she went and did something like that. If if he was her first. So yeah, I don't. Well, I know he couldn't have been her first because the abortion happened before Kanan was born. So yeah, Howard didn't take her innocent.
And seeing something, pushes girls out like that, out to the streets like that. It's usually some kind of trauma or something within the family. Don't forget, I'm a counselor,
Right.
so I just think that way. And I done heard a whole lot of shit over the years about family stuff.
Yeah, you probably know this, but I heard some numbers about they saying the percentage of a lot of little girls when they were younger being touched or SA'd in some shape or form in their lives, but a lot of the times they don't even tell anyone.
And it's the same for boys.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I would say the it would make more sense for the boys because they they look at it as like I'm supposed to be a man. I can't admit that something like that has happened to me.
Hmm.
And I think the girls they look at it more so as it is what it is. It ain't the first time, and probably ain't gonna be the last. And it's very unfortunate that a lot of them think that way. When you say be really survive, are you talking about the series or are you just talking about each episode he makes it? And honestly, no one cares about be really. Whether this nigga makes it or don't make it, trust me, no one cares. I don't even know why they introduced this nigga.
So people could think he was Breeze.
Probably.
Oh, it's got a B and a R. That's Breeze. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
And then they made sure this his music did also, made you think it too by some of the shit he was saying. But yeah, so it says, with Unique, um, with him trying to regain a foothold in Queens, who do you think he could potentially be trying to? Because more than likely, he's going to be trying to gain an alliance, and I would suspect he probably would be trying to work something out with Breeze, right? Or do y'all think it's anybody else that y'all got in mind that he could be potentially?
See, this I get lost with all these connects and what's the other word they got? Plugs. So
Mhm.
you had okay now Marvin killed Quan, right?
Yeah,
When he'll connect a plug or something. Okay, Marvin killed him, got the diamonds and pearls. Then you had who was that that woman that Ronnie was she was trying to get Ronnie and her
Juliana,
okay, who was her cousin? Joaquin or something?
Joaquin. Yep.
Okay, now where does he fit in? He sent Rock to her feast, right? But she had to but she got her
Well, he
feast's
sent
name from
no,
Trayman.
yeah, yeah. He sent them to Tremont, and Tremont gave her another dude, and that dude gave her a high fees.
So Rock at this point in time had the supply. I thought she was at the top of the food chain now, but she needed Stefano's distribution, the trucks or something.
Right.
And
So
he had cut them off, and Marvin knew that was going to hurt their operation.
right. So let's go ahead and go to the next synopsis, episode 2, because I think this is gonna explain some of that you're talking about.
Okay, Eshak introduced Rock to her feast. Okay,
Oh shit, I did not mean to do that. One second. All right, so here's episode 2. So the title, as you can see, is Many Men, which is, I'm pretty sure it stood out to most people because, anybody that's a fan of 50 Cent, one of his biggest hits, the title of it is Many Men. And it says, Stefano goes into business with Snaps, Pop, Breeze, and Kanan, while Rock forms her own new alliance. So there's the part where, I was saying Stefano goes into business with Snaps and Pop, Breeze, and Kanan. And that's the reason why I believe, he's having that conversation with Kanan like that because they're in business together.
okay.
And you also see that they're talking about Rock is going to form a new alliance too. And to me,
She had Hafiz. So what?
but she needs, see, that's the thing. Hafiz is only a supplier. He's not giving her any military power. So she, although she has, you know, the all the product that she needs, she still needs soldiers.
Okay, so now why is Unique not in that little short list?
So I was gonna get to that.
Oh, okay,
Yep, I was definitely gonna get to that. So her biggest piece, I think, is Pino here because it tells you that he's a nemesis to Stefano, and that pretty much he's even to his power. So he's like he rivals Stefano's power. So if she's gonna go up against Stefano, she needs somebody who can go toe to toe with him, and she could possibly also, perhaps, maybe, I don't know. The other girl, Flossie, could end up having her on her side as well. Because keep in mind, Kane and them has a very powerful alliance. They got Breeze and they got Snaps and Pop with the combination of Stefano. So she's gonna need a lot of hitters, you know, to be able to stand up to them. So yeah, Flossie could also turn out to be one of the allies of hers as well. Maybe.
Now these two are related, right?
I believe they are, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But to your other point, like I said, or what else I was going to go to is think about it. Because look at the last part. It says Marvin hunts for Unique, who's quickly losing his grasp on South Jamaica, right? So I think Unique will make a great um, ally to Rock at this point. Like, put your differences aside. This is about survival. Because keep in mind, it looks like what, like I said, that him and Breeze may have had a heated exchange. So it looks like it's not working out between them two. So he needs to go to the next great, alliance that's available, which is Rock's crew, and that could easily be spent if by pretty much them proving that Rock wasn't behind trying to kill him with Ronnie and taking over his operation. If they can find a way to prove that to him, Unique would be on board.
So now then we got. Well, see that makes sense. He can even remember that he was in love with her. Maybe his memory comes back or something.
Good.
But this that still doesn't excuse that her brother kidnapped his on this Lou is gone at this point.
Yeah, but the only way I can see this not happening is if Unique himself is the one behind the death of Lou. But if he's not, I think Unique can forgive what they did to him because he's man enough to realize this only happened because I ended up getting into my emotions and not and my memory got foggy and didn't pay attention that Ronnie attacked me on his own and I'd never seen Rock. It was only because of what early Tyler said that I believe Rock had something to do with it. So if he didn't ever go out all out and attack Rock without, you know, actually sitting down with her and trying to get to the bottom of it, none of that shit would have happened. So he got to take that to the chin and be like, "Hey, that's on me," which it is. Rock was trying to, avoid war with him, but at the same time, after all the damage he was doing, she couldn't just keep letting that nigga do that shit and lay down. She had to fight back. He didn't want to hear her out.
Okay, while Rock forms her own new alliances. Okay, that's a plural
Right?
alliances. But
Mm-hmm.
then you got Marvin hunting for Unique.
What's up, Talia? Yeah, exactly. So I don't
Hunting,
know.
hunting to kill him.
That's I was just about to get into that.
Oh
So I don't know if he's looking at him, hunting him down to try to murk him, or could he be hunting him down potentially for a potential ally?
no, no. He if you Unique might have went out would have a good reason to have gone after Lou.
Yeah, very
Uh,
likely.
Unique folks had just tried to kill Marvin in the last episode
Yep, definitely
while he
did.
running around town burning up stuff and gunning down Marvin.
But think about this. This is not the first time that they have been into it and they put their differences aside. They did that in season two. Like they said, it's about business. And and also if they can all come together and figure out that they all been manipulated, I think they can put their differences aside and be like, let's work together. Because who is the person that's causing all the commotion at this point? Who are the ones that's doing it? Snaps and Pop. But hey, who knows? It might not happen that way. Marvin could actually hunt him down and murk his ass. That could happen. Adult Kanan gets his style of attire from hanging with Breeze, his Uncle Marvin and Lou. Yeah, and that's another thing that makes me like I keep saying. That's why I think Kanan didn't intentionally, but at the same time, he could end up dressing like them to honor them due to him feeling really bad about him making a mistake doing something to his uncles, and they had him. His mother had nothing to do with what he thought. Plus, they got taken out because they were just trying to protect their sister. So this some crazy shit. Rock going unalive, going hold on, going alive. I guess you meant unalive Stefano, and he gonna tell her Kanan put him up to it. I mean, maybe, but yeah, I do think that possibly I don't know why, but I do feel like with one of these images that we've been getting from Rock, perhaps this one or the other one, um, Stefano is the one that's on the ground getting shot. I wonder if Unique find out that Rock got rid of his baby. So that's what I was saying. That could be one of the things that leads to them going back to work together. Even though I see that you saying they won't, but if he finds out they had a baby together, I think he would change his whole thought process. And here's another thing of how this could potentially happen. I probably make an individual video of this.
I don't think Unique would accept an abortion.
I don't think he would either. But you got to think about. Look at how he was acting. She thought he was dead. That's the only reason why she did the abortion. I'm pretty sure if he was alive, she wouldn't have done it. Well, he was alive, but she didn't know. So he can't get mad at her for aborting him when she thought he was dead.
Well, you could that could go the other way too. Like, that's his seed. That would be another reason to keep the baby.
Yeah, but life as a single mother ain't the greatest. That's how you got to consider that. So she already got one. Then she got to start all the way over without the father.
She won the 32.
34. And it don't matter what it is, 30 anything. You don't want to start over with a newborn without the father.
But she had money in a house. I mean, she could have been a single mother.
You know how many single mothers
She could have had nannies and
that
whatnot.
don't mean nothing. It's a lot of single mothers that got money and stuff like that, and they absolutely miserable. That don't mean anything. But yeah, so Um, another way I could see that possibly could get the unique alliance together is Pernessa. Think about this. Pernessa, her motive is going to be the safety of her family first. So if she can find a way to end that war between the Thomas and Unique, she's gonna do it. And remember, when Neek first came back in contact with her and was talking to her, Vanessa was trying to tell Neek then she don't think Rock had anything to do with that because she's seen how Rock came to her and was talking to her. And remember when she thought when Neek first came up missing and she thought she was dead, she showed up to Rock's house and they had that talk. She Pernessa knew after all of that, like, yeah, Rock ain't had nothing to do with if some with what happened to him. But Neek wasn't trying to hear it. But maybe then, after he don't had a chance to calm down a little bit, perhaps he'll hear her out. Rock will eliminate Abraham looking for Trey Mike. So I know where you're getting that from, and like I actually talked about this on the last live that the same location the same location where they were torturing Tremont to get the answer to the plug, who was his plug. They're gonna end up going back into that location because we see it in the trailer, and it looks like she turns around and shoots someone, and you're assuming that it's Abraham. Could be. But what would be her motive to go after Abraham and Tremont? At this point, they don't really have a reason to, unless Tremont shows up and do something. Make sure y'all hitting the like button too. I just thought about this shit.
For him to be in Origins, I think he gonna have to do something in Raising Canaan.
Big ass niggas be hating on these lights.
What you think?
You said you believe he's gonna be what?
For him to be in on Origins, I'm thinking he gonna have to do something in Raising Canaan at the end.
More than likely, yes.
He could be the one to what we have to say unalive um, Marvin or Raquel.
You know, in one of the drive-by scenes, it is a character in the car that looks like Tremont.
Not the one hanging
Hanging
out the window of the car.
I mean, we
No,
might
that's
be.
that's a young fella.
Okay, well, shit. I don't know if we talking about the same person or not, but hey, the motherfucker look like him to me.
It was somebody shooting out the window in a car,
Right.
but that didn't look like Trayvon.
Did to me, but hey, maybe you're right. I didn't thoroughly look at it. I think Breeze is going to unalive Marvin. So, that is going around,
What?
About Breeze taking out Marvin. And, I we get where it comes from because in the trailer, it looks like they're having a shootout at each other.
And he tearing up the tailor shop, and now we see Unique. He hunting Unique.
Yeah, but what they got to do with Breeze?
Well, why would Breeze take out Marvin?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But I will say this, judging by the trailer, you remember there's a line where Breeze says, "Now that your mom is out the game, everybody else need to get the fuck out the way." So he could be, kind of referring to the remainder of the family. So let's say maybe something happens to Rock, which more than likely, in my opinion, if something does happen to her, it'll be an arrest, not a murder. And let's say Rock gets arrested, and they're like, "Well, now that she's officially out the game, because let's say she goes to jail, she's doing life or whatever, and let's just say Marvin's still around, he's still there. They were like, "Nah, we got to take out Marvin now too," and he gets around to doing it. Who knows?
Okay, Stefan said Bree's gonna take out Unique. That could make sense. It's the Marvin hunting Unique, tearing up everything. That's Marvin on a rampage. DeMarcus says Reggie hanging out the window. Now I don't know who Reggie is. I can't remember.
Me either. I don't know who the hell that is.
So DeMarcus think Breeze will eliminate Snap, but not both of them.
You said what?
See, DeMarcus saying Breeze will eliminate Snaps,
Yeah, he's been saying that.
but not Pop.
Mm, I'm getting. Are you just talking about only Snap, or will he take out both, Demarcus? But yeah, another thing that I was thinking about that could end up happening is, let's say Marvin could end up, because Marvin did show up to Kanan's one of his apartment where he do his business at, and he just shot a shotgun through there and rushed in, and of course that it cut off there. We don't know what he did afterwards, but maybe Kanan, I mean maybe Marvin ended up taking out somebody big that's part of Bree's organization, and now Breeze wants blood. It could be a situation where after Kanan finds out the truth, he wants his uncle. And now that Marvin has taken out someone that's close to Breeze, he wants his uncle. So it could be an eye for an eye type situation. Mm.
So we're assuming that Breeze is a blood relative of Pop.
Perhaps, but the way they was doing, Snap's doing most of the talking, almost as if he was the blood of him. But who knows? Could be. But anyways, let's go ahead and get to the final one of the night. Let's talk about episode 3 synopsis. So, episode 3 is titled Tricks, and it reads Rock and Marvin launch their new operation as Kanan and Breeze's business grows stronger. Jukebox takes a big risk to protect the family.
Hmm. What's she gonna do? Kill Garcia?
Yeah, but I do think Garcia will be involved with this.
He wasn't in the trailer either.
Yeah, he wasn't. No law enforcement person was.
And no mention of Lou in any of these synopses.
Right. But I'm pretty sure they did that intentionally.
Okay.
I mean, it could be because he's gone, which I'm still leaning towards that's probably what it is. But it also could be Lou is actually alive, but they're intentionally not putting his name in the synopsis because they want you to believe that he's dead.
Well, that could be the big thing that Kanan did that changes the Thomas family forever.
What?
Somehow getting rid of Lou.
Well, yeah, that's what we were saying.
Okay.
So it's called Tricks, right? The name of this episode is Tricks. Rock and Marvin launch their new operation as Kanan and Breeze's business grows stronger. So, in order for this to make sense to me, like I said, I believe he's gonna Rock is gonna end up making the alliance with Pino Bernardi, possibly Flossie, and maybe even potentially Unique, which is a nice little lineup for her to have. They can, you got some very powerful, strong hitters, people that know the game and stuff like that. Breeze and Kanan's them operation is more so younger, but they do got the godfathers and godmothers of the game, which is Snaps and Pop on their side. And then, of course, you got Stefano.
Well, now, see, I'm tending to read what it's not saying. So you had Stefano gonna do business with four people. Now the next episode we talking about Kanan and Breeze's business grows stronger. So it's like that's eliminating Stefano, Snap, and Pop.
Nah, I think they're all still up in there.
Why would you think that? You know, Kanan and Breeze got to eliminate some folks. That
Yeah, but I think that's
Breeze is playing chess.
sure. But I think the, I think it's too early for that to have happened.
I don't think so. They gotta do a lot
They
fast.
do. They do got to do a lot fast, but I still think it's a tad bit. Now, this is what I think is happening here. Because keep in mind, look at that title name, Tricks, and then look at the last sentence. Jukebox takes a big risk to protect the family. So, what's the risk that Jukebox is taking? The risk that I think she is taking is first, like I've been saying, like I was going to make an individual video on this, and I still am. It'll be out sometimes tomorrow. But I believe part of that's why I said I was going to get back to Garcia. I think it's a great possibility she's going to go back to him in order to fish out some information about what happened with Crystal and Famous actually, because Garcia is the detective on both cases, right?
Now, where that picture come from?
This is from the finale of last season.
Oh, okay.
So um, keep in mind, this is when he told um, Juke that where they found Crystal's body is somebody said that they saw somebody coming out the apartment building with the same description. The description was a black woman
Mm-hmm.
that looked somewhat like Juke or whatever. So when Garcia was telling her this, he was assuming maybe Juke had with herself was the one who did it because Crystal and her had beef anyway. But Juke ended up assuming that Rock was the person that they were talking about. But in actuality, we all know that it was Pop. So she could go back to Garcia and question him more and be like, "Hey, okay, so who is the person that gave the description?" And then if Garcia is able to dig up the witness that says who is the person that described the person, they might end up coming up with some kind of future, something that's significant to Pop that helps Jukebox, put the pieces together. And once she does, she probably will tell Marvin. Marvin will probably tell Rock, and they're gonna try to get the information over to Kanan. But Kanan at this point is probably in the state of mind that shoot first and ask questions later. So the only person that Kanan would potentially end up, actually be opening to talking to would be Jukebox because she's the only neutral person in the family that's left, right?
Mhm.
So Kanan probably would hear her out and have a conversation with her. And I believe Kanan won't believe her, but something's gonna happen. Maybe even after speaking with Breeze, and Breeze kind of confirms something that makes them put the pieces together. Be like, damn, that shit is the truth. So, like I said, the name of this episode is called Tricks. Well, we know Snaps and Pop is full of tricks. That's all his little ass they've been doing since we've been knowing them. So I think this could be the episode where Jukebox finds out the truth. And once she does, she she tells Kanan. Kanan may not actually be able to figure it out completely himself until the next episode. And who knows, that could be the episode Snaps and Pop gets taken out. Maybe. So that would be like the mid season finale, episode 4. So could it be a situation where the family goes back together? Maybe, perhaps. But if Snaps and Pop was to fall that soon, who would be the next big threat? Because you still got 4 episodes left to cover. So I guess the question here would be: do we think Snaps and Pop will be the main villain of this final season, or will someone else show up after them?
Hmm.
Breeze is going to make Kanan feel stupid about everything he has done with Snaps and Pop. Yeah, I could see something like that. Like he kind of lets them know, like, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. My uncle and auntie ugly as hell for real. Like them folks some grimy ass motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I can see him telling them some shit like that. The time is going to
See,
fall.
you got these mafia folks, and Teresa Baselli still got a part to play
Yep.
with Unique, because I still think Unique gonna hook up.
Them hooking up would be crazy.
Why?
Cause she old as hell.
Dang, she could be a cougar. I mean,
I'm not saying she can't.
but they was definitely flirting with each other. Unique was anyway,
Yeah, he
she was
was.
letting it.
Yeah, but I think he was doing that to get what he wanted. He was trying to finesse. Nigga ain't actually interested. Now she could still have something that he needs though. And he goes through with it in order to survive.
Then she get him in with Nick with Russo, Phil Russo,
Yeah. Yep.
and she don't like Stefano, right? Because he
Uh,
put the hit out on Sal, her
well,
husband.
she doesn't know that
How would she not know that?
because that was never revealed.
The feds was in there telling Sal that there was a hit out on it.
True, but she wasn't in there, and I don't know if Sal even told him that. And then even with that, they still don't know where the hit was coming from. It's not like um, Stefano is the only person or member of the families. Could be anybody.
And Phil didn't know.
Phil knew because
'Cause it was like Sal, the way Stefano was saying it, Sal had to be taken out. That was like from the higher ups. He had to go because how he screwed up.
Juke could be mingling with cops again.
Why I got to be tweaking? I can have a theory.
Yeah, that's another thing. I keep saying this, and I think it'd be nice if they allow law enforcement to get a major win. Finally, just let law enforcement take somebody down instead of them die. Like I know a couple of them were saying stuff like, Marvin could like somebody mentioned something about Marvin going to um but yeah, somebody mentioned about Marvin going into Wits and I just can't see Marvin going into Wits that. Like he doesn't seem like the type to me.
Marvin got money. I keep bringing up these diamonds and pearls. Why did they have him take diamonds and pearls?
I don't know. Shit, he could have sold the motherfucker by now. Jukebox is going to solve the case, and that's how she gets in law enforcement. So yeah, I got a similar feel and idea with that. I actually think it could also be after major people of her family gets killed, she's gonna want to become law enforcement so that she can be in the loop of things and know stuff. Because she probably is gonna look at it like if I was a cop, stuff like what happened between Famous and you know Crystal and things like that probably would have happened because I would have known everything. Because that way she can play the street side of it and play the side of you know the law. I'm not gonna check out the Shy because it's way too many damn seasons and I'm too far behind them. So it's a problem for a young adult to get with an older adult, but niggas was all for Kanan and Palomar. I'm not saying it's a problem. I'm just saying
Who said that?
to live. I'm just saying I don't think it's gonna happen. It could though, cause he definitely was flirting with her. But like I said, I think it was more so him trying to get what he wanted.
But I'm tweaking when I said that.
Him going to DC with Duke could be plausible. It's something that could potentially see happen. Um, so but the big risk outside of taking a chance to try to go see Kanan, is there anything else y'all could see that could be risky that Jukebox could end up doing to protect the family?
Who could she kill?
Yeah, that could be something too. She goes and takes somebody out. And we did see in one of the teasers with her had a gun on somebody, looked like she was taking them out. So that could be it.
We still got. You would think we would see this crazy jukebox that made everybody so nervous in OG Power because we don't know anybody been cast as jukebox in Origins, right?
Nope, they haven't revealed anything like that.
Although this actress is saying that
She's not in
she
it.
says she's not in it.
Yeah, but two things could be going on with that, in my opinion. It could be that one, she just not in the first season, and then maybe the second season they bring her in, or two, her ass could be lying because these actors be lying their ass up.
She on some other show, right?
Yeah, Nashville
Nashville.
911.
Did she lose any of that weight?
They said she did. I haven't
Okay.
really seen her in a minute.
Because they was putting them big ass jackets on her all the time. I thought she was pregnant for a minute.
Looked like it, or it could be some kind of birth control.
I think it's gonna be the risk gonna be connected to Garcia.
Doing what though?
Well, kind of like Demarcus's idea was good. Like he would somehow would find out that it was Pop that killed that was behind Famous and Crystal.
So killing those police.
Just her going to talk to a cop or work with a cop is risky, right? For the family. They gangsters.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think I like her on 9/11, 9/11 Nashville, but I don't know. I spent the whole season trying to figure out is that her real voice or not.
Now, jukebox got real thick around the third season, I think.
No, I don't even think it was the third season. I think the fourth season is when I really noticed it.
Face was full and everything. I mean, not that she didn't look good, but the way she had to dress for the part, just made it worse. You know, with all that. Um,
Okay, so Emmanuel says the risk is she's working with the law and Kanan finds out. So she works with the law to do what? To discover the fact of that, Snaps and Pop was dirty.
or at least at a minimum, that Pop was the black woman the witness saw.
So DeMarcus, you said she was pregnant in real life. You know this for sure, or you just saying some shit? And you said was. Did she have an abortion or some shit? And so far I know, she didn't have a baby. Yeah, I think he capping too. Working with the loud period isn't a good look, and that's how Cannon gets the scar. That scar. So you think Kanan might potentially try to attack her because she's working with the law, and she basically slices his ass up for it. Now it's a good. That's a decent little theory there. Let me see something else I got here on my back bottom. So here's something though that I can't wrap my finger around because I don't know. Maybe she does. Maybe Marvin doesn't die. or Kanan doesn't have something to do because I've been trying to come up with what's the reason Kanan would have Juke would have let Kanan live and let it go after all that he has done. Maybe he's gonna end up saving her sometime down the line of this season, or maybe she slightly feels guilty because she was the one told Kanan that what Garcia said about a black woman leaving the apartment. So that's really what made him go forward with trying to take out Rock in the first place. And if Lou is dead, then that could have been prevented as well. So maybe to a degree, she kind of feels like she's responsible for
So, um, Kanan, before he killed Juke, said, "You talk too damn much." After he shot her, he said, "You always talk too much," something like that, right?
it. Yeah, that she always wanted in her mouth.
Okay, and then didn't Sasha Penn say that we're gonna find out why it was so easy for him to take her out when he did?
Yeah, he's gonna say. He said, you definitely
Because when the characters were introduced, Kanan loved her more than anybody. So that talking too much is gonna have to happen this season.
right. I just still, I'm starting to lose hope that they're gonna show us my D Wid's brother though, man. That's gonna be kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. But who knows? Maybe they will. I
That would have
still
been
think
that would have been a good person to either come after Lou or Kanan.
right. And I see a movie about back in what I said. This is gonna be the greatest. He said he believes this is gonna be the greatest season of Power as well. And I know I said it before, way before the trailer came and anything. I could just sense it. This is gonna be the greatest season of Power.
The greatest season of the universe or Raising Kanan.
Universe. She was just airing everything out. She was telling everything today. Tell him why you taught him about.
I mean, probably the more interesting thing, you know, he really cared for Tariq.
He did, and he knew
Uh,
that she was never gonna let him go, so he had to take her out. But that goes back to what I said. Remember, Courtney Kemp was saying that a huge part of why he took a liking to Tariq like that was because he reminded him of his younger self.
or he might have thought he was the real baby daddy.
That could be it too.
He said he was more like a son than Sean,
Yep.
and he should have got a DNA test with Sean.
They never had a DNA test. Should have took it.
Sean would be a foot taller than this version of Kanan.
Right. Everybody a foot taller than that nigga.
But you know who else? Who else was on the? I don't like to use the word short because I don't know what that is. I'm 6'1", so average height is what 5'7", 5'8".
Like around 5'9".
Because Amari Harvard wasn't tall either. Michael Rainey got our group was as tall as him by season 5, wasn't it?
Uh-huh. Marvin being down Candy is part of the reason why Candy smoked Sean and Jukebox with no problem and no emotion. I think it had something way deeper than that. Ain't got nothing to do with that. Listen, bye. Quick to pick up a gun. Put the gun down. Put up your guns. Now you're bad. I'm a man without.
DNA paternity testing became available in 1988. Then in the 1990s, those 99.9% conclusive tests. What are we talking about now?
I don't know, but I'm about to get jump off here soon. Jukebox told Kanan, yeah. Well, I think it's safe to say he gave that shit up.
He cared about Tariq.
Yeah, he did. I think this is the thing, though. Kanan, if you pay attention throughout his life that we know from raising Kanan to the original, Kanan kind of have been loyal to the ones that he felt like he should have been loyal to, that's loyal to him. But if you ain't hit no friend of his or something like that, he ain't got no mercy for you. Is the last Friday happening for yeah, they do supposed to be doing the last Friday. Yeah, got what shoot. I don't know about you. I don't. You probably got to be up in a few hours or whatever. I know for damn sure I do. I got to be up in like the next 4. I'm gonna get nah, probably maybe 5, but I got a little bit something that I'm gonna do before I even lay down. So yeah, I'm getting up out here. But yeah, this is a fun talk. I got a couple more videos I'm gonna put out, and then we can do some lives on those as well. But yeah, this was a good little live. I mean, it's gonna only get better when we get more people to come in and interact. Hey, man, quit playing with me, you guys. Have my side, have my side busted in there, right? Yeah, deal with it. This is my bed. But yeah, yeah, everybody have a blessed night. I'm about to go ahead and jump over here, off here. It's been real, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one.
All right. Be good.